Returned once again today to actually deliver the final stream for now of Golden Kamuy, the anime. So yes, this is the final episode for season 1, because as of this morning, though someone actually did say to me last week that a voice actor actually was commencing voicing for season 2, but yeah, season 2 got announced this morning by Juno Studio, so at least now he actually knows actually a sequel to this show. So this is the final episode for now of the anime, and yeah, it's really sad to actually see the series go, because as everyone knows, it actually is my favourite show of the whole entire year so far, besides Devilman Crybaby and then also Pop Team Epic. So it's one of those shows that really took me by surprise how good it actually was. So I knew it was going to be good, but never this amazing, and it's actually just the most perfect show I could ever have asked for. So I'm glad that this actual show exists, and it's sad to see us go for now, because October is quite a long way away. And yeah, I mean, hopefully actually get an actual kind of, for now, conclusive ending, like kind of leave it on a cliffhanger, but actually kind of end the series in a kind of satisfactory way, because it doesn't have to be the best ending, but just something, because we know season 2 is coming, so it's actually not really a problem, but just something, as they say. That'd be kind of cool. But anyway, so without further delay, let's get a show on the road. Hopefully Crunchyroll does not die this time, because I don't know why, I was trying to stream last time and Crunchyroll was just not working. So, gone live again for Golden Kamuy episode 12. I don't know what happened, it's just recently, ever since I've changed computers, Crunchyroll would not work. I don't know why Crunchyroll just doesn't want to work anymore. So anyway, yeah. Anyway, without further delay, let's actually get this episode. I actually can't speak. I think the heat in England is starting to get to me. Anyway, without further delay, it's actually a show on the road. So in 3, 2, 1, let's begin episode 12 of Golden Kamuy now. Oh, yes, what could I more have asked for in a final episode? This is what I wanted. This is what I needed. I mean, if it gets Sudami in there as well, oh, best final episode. Best final that I could ever have asked for. But yeah, as I was saying, it's sad to see the series go, because it's just so freaking perfect. It really is. It's a special show that hopefully once it's over, more people actually pick it up and actually watch it, because it deserves the watch, even the repeat watch as well, because it's just so absolutely perfect, the show. Like, it has a really smart way to actually tell its storyline and actually then develop its characters as well. It just does everything it needed to do perfectly, and hopefully more people actually pick it up, because it deserves it. But yeah, I mean, I just love every single character in the show so much. Every single character. Sugimoto's a perfect protagonist. Arspido's a perfect character as well. Shirashi's a perfect companion. Just everything about this anime was just absolutely incredible. It hurts my heart to actually see the series go for now. I'm glad that season 2 is actually on the horizon, though. It's one of those things that I just wanted season 2 to be announced, because if that's the case, I'd be happy. And I actually am very happy. I actually got confirmation this morning of it. I thought, yes, finally. Oh man, I love the entrance. Like, I'm right here, and everyone's just like, "Oh, okay, that's fine." It's sad to see the series go because these characters are absolutely incredible. I love them all equally. They're just so freaking cool. It's just been one of those series that I just can't get enough of each week. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ooh. Nine minutes and 50 seconds if anyone joins again. Just it's 9 minutes and 50 seconds. this is a very interesting final, actually, when you think about it, because it's actually kind of, I think it's dealing perfectly with Shirashi's character kind of being the pseudo enemy within. Like, he's not actively the pseudo enemy within, but it's kind of like the plot made it go that way. Oh, here we go, boys. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go, boys. It's happening. It's happening. it did what it wanted to do. To be honest, it was the ending to the core that I expected. In essence, it basically gave me an episode, but also kind of hinted at the future of the show itself. So in that way, good job, Golden Kamuy. We actually ended the show off how I want it to be ended. So in that way, it's actually still pretty much perfect in my eyes. There's actually still nothing wrong with it. So good job on that part. But I mean, it's one of those episodes that really kind of heightened this idea of who Shirashi is for the actual group himself. Which I think is one of those things that was needed, because it was hinting constantly at this idea of him being the kind of enemy within. I was like, I mean, he's not actively the enemy within. He's kind of he's a victim of circumstance, if you get what I mean. Which is quite interesting in that way, because in a way he's a deconstruction of the whole entire idea. But in essence, he's not actively trying to deceive anyone or do anything. He's just actually kind of put into that situation. So it's interesting to see that actually you got to see the whole entirety of that idea in this episode. Actually kind of explored as well. It's actually kind of a neat thing to do. And actually, god damn it, is Crunchyroll really irritating me today. Crunchyroll is just constantly trying to there we go. Yeah, ending. I'm just trying to go for the ending, but the ending's still it's still buffering. Don't know why it does that today. Of all times to do it today. Come on, Crunchyroll, come back. Oh, come on, come back, Crunchyroll. It's the end of the show anyway. Whew, man, it's really hot in my room today as well. Right, hopefully if I just skip it across ever so slightly, it will actually work. Because I know it's have to do with my computer or my internet, because my internet's working perfectly, because otherwise the stream wouldn't be working either. So that's out of the question, so Crunchyroll's literally just died for me. There we go, we're back to normal. It's the credits anyway, so it's not a problem. Only because the show ended pretty much really soon, so I thought it might be an after credit scene to watch, so that's why I might actually kind of stay on and actually see what happens. See, it's after credit scene. Oh. Oh. Oh boy. Right. Since Crunchyroll was being an arsehole during that stream, it kind of dampened it ever so slightly, but other than that, holy crap, that was a final. That's also a final scene as well. That's a bamboozle of an ending as well. So boy, does that get me excited for season 2. But god damn it, Crunchyroll, did you actually have to ruin experience ever so slightly because of the buffering? For no reason other than the fact that Crunchyroll's actual codec is terrible. So anyway, let's talk about the series as a whole, because god damn it, is this series perfect. Really it is. The episode itself was absolutely incredible as well. Just as a final, I thought, yeah, they actually did a really freaking good job. Just Crunchyroll just had to go and screw it up slightly, because it's Crunchyroll in the end, as they say. So anyway, yes, it's just one of those series that I like the fact that the MacGuffin was introduced, but it always never was the kind of centralized point. I said it throughout the whole entirety of the series. The way that the actual kind of MacGuffin like kind of grows small narratives within it, and I actually really do like that whole entirety of storytelling, because it's one of those things that it's not kind of very cut and dry. Because again, you would wonder that, look, okay, so going after MacGuffin is actually literally alright as a concept. Going after MacGuffin is completely okay, because out of that you get character motivations, you get other character motivations that actually kind of counteract our protagonist's character motivations, and in doing so you still get a good time. But what the show did perfectly, it illustrated the idea that the MacGuffin was there, and actually was a freaking centralized point of it, but it wasn't the kind of the overarching point of the whole entire narrative, because in that you got small narratives which also incidentally actually kind of grew the characters, actually allowed you to see different motivations, different way of actually looking at certain events, actually in theory then allowing you to kind of grow a deeper connection to actual overall characters, and then show as a whole towards the actual season 2, and actually eventually, hopefully when they get towards the MacGuffin itself, it makes the whole entire experience kind of very fleshed out. It doesn't make it seem as if it's just one note, cut and dry, that whole entire like bad things that can happen to these kind of things. No. The way they kind of handled the MacGuffin was absolutely incredible. It really was. I thought, good job on that part, because it's one of the things I always wanted them to do. I wanted to actually kind of grab the MacGuffin, but not actually kind of make it to be the centralized point, to actually kind of allow it to kind of just flourish in the background, while other narratives go on in the foreground. Actually kind of allows us to actually see there's actually more to this show than just the MacGuffin, and it was done perfectly. So in that way, the storytelling was absolutely perfect. I thought there's a really freaking good story in here, and it's actually one of those ones that hopefully, as the anime now ended, hopefully more people actually pick it up and actually kind of realize the true potential of this show. Because I will say the animation wasn't perfect. It wasn't the greatest thing in the universe, because it wasn't at all. The animation was kind of hit and miss most of the time, but it's one of those things that if the storyline itself is absolutely great, I can get past it. It doesn't really matter to me. Animation's not always the kind of centralized point that will make or break a series for me. It's not ever been like that at all. Unless it kind of breaks the immersion completely, I don't really kind of really pay much attention to bad animation, because it's one of those things that the storyline's great, so I just get past it. It's not one of those things that really kind of irritates me too much. So in that way, hopefully now, as the series ended, more people pick it up and actually realize the true potential of the series, because there's just so much in this series that is just absolutely great. The characters, every single character was great. I liked how they deal with the idea of Shirashi being the enemy within, the evil within's again. The enemy within himself, because as I was saying during the stream, like during the middle part of the stream, he's not actively the kind of the enemy within, he's a victim of circumstance in a way. So it's one of those things that's very interesting to actually kind of see him actually have to like kind of keep the whole entire thing a secret. You know what's going on there, he knows what's going on there, but everyone else is kind of oblivious to what's really going on. It heightens the tension between each scene, because you just don't know what's going to happen, what's going to happen with Shirashi's character, what will actually then become the relationship in season 2, if or not actually does get found out, we just don't know. It's one of those things that the way they actually kind of use the enemy within trope in this show, it was actually really freaking well done, because it heightens all the senses that you need it to heighten, to make his character kind of a lot more one of those characters that you're like, oh god, what's he gonna do? He's lovable, but you're kind of like, you have that fear in you as well about him. So yeah, in that way, I like how they actually kind of dealt with that whole entire idea, and actually even dealt with his episode. Hopefully, the character actually was introduced in this episode actually does in theory come back, because she's actually quite a neat character, because she's one of those characters that, again, as I said beforehand, said that during a previous stream, episode 9 or 10, I believe, that is one of those things that characters aren't always what they are meant to be in essence, because certain characters have different motivations that kind of come to light as episodes go on. And actually, quite the fact that you thought she's okay at the beginning, but in theory she's actually kind of got a lot more going on than we actually imagined originally. I thought that's one of those things. It was neat for that reason, because you never really kind of think to yourself, oh god, everyone's cut and dry, because they aren't. They've got depth to them, actually makes them more believable, and therefore once the actual kind of reveal happens, it makes the whole entire thing just like, wow, okay, so that's something I did not actually expect. So really, in that way, good job on your part, Golden Kamuy, because all the characters themselves are freaking perfect. As I said beforehand, I think I said it during streams beforehand, Sugimoto's kind of character is that he's immortal. He's immortal Sugimoto, so you're kind of like, okay, so what does that mean? I like the fact that actually did in theory kind of constantly reference the fact he's actually immortal, but in his defense, the whole entire time, it was believable, so he actually didn't mind the fact he actually constantly kept on saying it, because it's one of those things that each time it happened, it reinforced the fact he actually was his immortal character. Because certainly, as I said beforehand, a character constantly saying the fact that he's immortal, he's the best, he's everything like that, can actually grow thin, actually can in theory then hinder your attachment to a character. But here, Sugimoto's character was done perfectly to actually kind of make the whole entire experience not seem as if it's just constantly saying the same thing over and over again to the point it becomes tedious. It's not that at all. And I think also as well, the MacGuffin itself allowed for relationships to actually kind of grow from it. And I believe the actual way that actually kind of dealt with Speeder and actually also then Sugimoto as a relationship actually was really freaking neat. Because the MacGuffin brought them together, grew them as characters, and once they actually had to be separated, they actually can in theory carry a narrative on their own. And I thought it's one of those things that it was really freaking neat to see. It's a really nice use of the MacGuffin, because the MacGuffin's a very underutilized concept as time went on in cinema as well. You get it every once in a while. MacGuffin's always been there, but it's one of those things that there's some good ones, there's some okay ones. There's not every single one of them's a Maltese Falcon or rope or something like that, but I believe that Golden Kamuy very much is like Maltese Falcon in a way. The idea of how it was this MacGuffin, very much also like Rope as well. The Hitchcock film from like the 50s, I believe. It's the 50s or 60s, can't remember the exact date. But yeah, you know what I mean. It's the idea that the MacGuffin centralized point, but off of that stuff grows. Characters grow, motivations grow, these ideas, relationships grow because of it. This idea of betrayal, this idea of everything, it grows from it. I just love it. I love when a MacGuffin's used perfectly. I just think Golden Kamuy just did absolutely incredible. I can't fault the show. The show is absolutely incredible. It's my anime of the year, really. Even since season 2 arrives, it's still with my anime of the year because it's just so freaking good. It's just absolutely incredible, and hopefully more people actually pick it up and actually kind of realize the true potential of this show, because it's just, oh boy, it's a good show. It's a good show. So yeah, it's sad to see the series go, because again, as I said beforehand, it's one of those series that I loved every single week coming back to, actually realizing, oh god, this show is just so freaking good. The comedy itself, as I said beforehand, I believe I said it last week, because last week's episode actually was very much more comedy centric. It's one of those things that certainly sometimes shows can either be make or break by the comedy, because a lot of shows that tend to deal with a lot of kind of heavy things don't always mesh comedy well together, like Drifters, for example. Drifters is a good show on its own, but the comedy kind of drags it down to a point that it becomes a bit tedious to watch. You're kind of like, okay, so just get rid of this and just let me go back to what I was seeing beforehand, because it's actually a lot better, because the comedy's not really utilized correctly, because the writing itself's not strong enough to actually carry it. But here, the comedy itself is so strong because the writing can actually carry the comedy itself. Actually, it allows you to kind of have that break in between certain scenes. It's one of those things that it's really well utilized, and I think it's actually one of those things that it's a testament to the writing of the show, because the writing of the show is incredible. That it actually allows you to see that the actual comedy isn't so bad. It actually does in theory work in the context of narrative. So yeah. In that way, good job as well, Golden Kamuy, because you're just doing a good job on every single part. I can't say anything wrong with it besides the animation, but animation really doesn't matter to me. Once the series itself is really freaking good, then it doesn't actually matter. The only thing that matters to me is Crunchyroll breaking the stream slightly, because the fact is they can't actually have a code that actually really works correctly most of the time. They're running in 1080p, it's a problem. I ran it in 720p because it's running really badly last time, but I don't know. Crunchyroll's one of those websites you just can't trust anymore, because it just doesn't want to work. But yeah, I mean, other than the Crunchyroll problems, this episode was freaking great. I loved it. The comedy was great. The animation itself was pretty freaking good. I like the fact that we actually got to see more of the other dude that actually was with him as well, because again, he was one of those characters that actually needed some more development, because he was there. He was great. But there was more to him that we actually needed to know, and I actually quite like the fact that I actually got to know more about him. Granted, yes, it's episode 12. It's a very interesting point to put it into, but it works. It works in the context of the narrative. It works. I just love it. I can't say anything more against it, because it's just beautiful. Beautiful this show is. So yeah, that is me done for today. So yeah, sad to see the series go, but I'll be back in October. I also will start the manga tomorrow, actually, for Golden Kamuy, so be on the lookout for that. So yes, with all that said, I've indeed been the driver, so hopefully actually have enjoyed this whole entire stream series of Golden Kamuy. So if you have enjoyed it, then do leave a like, because indeed it does mean quite a bit. You have enjoyed it here on YouTube, and you want to stay a bit longer and actually join me for the summer season of anime that starts next week, I believe. If you want to join me on that, then do leave a sub, because indeed it does help me quite a bit. Also, if you want to join my Discord server, because if you actually join that, you'll know when my streams go live on Twitch and also then YouTube, then join it, because the link's in the description, so just join it if you want to. It's actually quite a good time in there. We actually do a lot. I just talk a lot about JoJo all the time. It's a very JoJo Discord, as they say. So yes, that is me done for today. So hopefully you actually have enjoyed the series as much as I have, because it's been really, really freaking fun to actually come back to it every single week and see what I actually can do next. So yes, until October, and also then tomorrow with the manga, I will see you guys later. Bye for now.